So hey out there, it is Tuesday and I got my solar panel remounted. Yeah, remounted, so now it's sitting flat on top of the shell. I rebolted the rack down with 4 bolts all the way through, 2 on each side. Okay, so that's on there. In case you didn't know, I started off with an auxiliary battery, but it wasn't charging properly and I couldn't figure it out. Well, I didn't understand at the time, okay, what was going on. So I found out I needed a DC to DC charger, basically a battery charger that works off your alternator, right? So when your engine's running, it's charging the battery. So now your alternator voltage and current varies up and down. That's no good for charging your battery. So you need a separate charger for the auxiliary battery. So that's what a DC to DC charger is. It'll take anywhere, I think, from 8 to 16 volts, and then puts it out at a current voltage for charging your battery. It knows how to limit or regulate the power going to your battery, so you're always getting the proper voltage to your battery while the engine's running, no matter what the alternator's putting out. It's operating separately, okay? So that worked great when we were out in Death Valley, first time I tried it out. Yeah, so that was working great, but while we were out there, Danny, one of the guys, brought along a solar panel he wasn't using and gave it to me. So I go, cool, that'll even work better. So now I got the solar panel mounted, but from the solar panel you need a charge controller to charge your battery. So that was another item I had to buy, a charge controller that takes the voltage from the solar panel and then sends it out to charge your battery, and there it regulates the power and everything. I think it's like 3 stages. So yeah, so I got all that installed. It worked out pretty good. I am missing some breakers, but other than that, everything is working. So I got 2 ways to charge the battery now. I can either run the engine and run the charge controller, which is right there. That is switched on from inside the cab. So when the engine's running and maybe a cloudy day or it's raining or something, or at night, I can use that, but the engine's got to be running. We got to be moving. And then this is controlling the solar panel. So this is the voltage right now, 13.9, and it's on float. Okay, it's on float, so it's fully charged. I think it's on like maintain. So there's 19 volts off the panel, 19.9, and that's 0.19 amps to the battery, 0.17. Battery is 100% charged. The battery voltage is 13.9, so, and I don't know exactly what that is, but 1 amp. And then it goes back to 0. That's the temperature of the battery, I think. Because it does have a battery temperature sensor. And it goes back to the start again. And then there's adjustments you can be made here, like what kind of voltage, 12 or 24 volt. What kind of battery you're using, lithium ion, gel, or AGM, or whatever they call it. I'm just using the basic lead acid deep cycle battery. It was 90 amp hours, I think. You know, got it at Walmart. I didn't want to spend a lot of money on it. Not for what I was using it for. I was just using it to charge my cameras. When I'm at camp, I like to plug my cameras in, but I don't want to drain my starter battery, and then, hey, how do I start the truck, right? Now, I got a 12 volt cooler that's running all the time. You know, got to keep the road sodas cold, right? That's cutting down on my ice bill, yeah. So that works out good. Yeah, that's all that is there. So far it's working out pretty good. So like I may not need this DC to DC charger for anything. There's some my breakers. I gotta reconfigure these. This one's not hooked up, but this one is off the panel. But I'm gonna have to reconfigure all that stuff still. I didn't order enough of those. I'm thinking I should have ordered 4 of those, but oh well. There's always next time, right? Oh, hey out there, it's Sunday. Oh no, wait a minute. It's Saturday. I'm up at Powder Canyon only because I just wanted to get out of the house for a while. I'm not going to go for a hike today. Yeah, I just grabbed a cup of coffee this morning and I don't want to go home. Just come up here and enjoy my coffee, right? I got my solar panel controller in this morning, I think, and the wires and my connectors. I think I got everything except the fuses. I couldn't find the breakers I needed anywhere, so I had to order those. See, I need 20 amp breakers. I couldn't find 20 amp breakers online. Not the resettable kind. Not a fuse, the breakers, right? So I ordered 25, I think was the smallest I could find. 25 amperes, yeah. And then I was looking at the different configurations, because you're either going to run one or the other. You're going to run the DC to DC charger or the solar panel. So from what I read, you'll run the DC to DC charger on days like this when you're using your auxiliary battery. See, I don't use my auxiliary battery every day, only on outings, so I think I'll disconnect it. But when I am out on the traveling or whatever, then I'll have to either run one or the other. Something, I should have some kind of switch that goes one way or the other, right? You either go solar panel or it goes to charger, so I don't run both at the same time. That's my thought. We'll see. I'll post a little a schematic of one system that I saw out there that looked kind of interesting. So, I'm back home here. I just took this out of the box and I didn't have the recorder blowing. So this is the Renogy 20 amp Rover series charge controller. Comes with one cable. This is actually for a temperature sensor on the battery. And that's about it. I thought it would be a lot smaller. At least I was hoping that, because I don't have any room for it now. Alright, here's a little better look. Yeah. So I thought maybe I could fit in that spot right there. That's not big enough now. Dang it. There's the DC charger. I'm thinking I could probably mount it right here, take this stuff off. This is tire repair kit and a hose for, well, that's the hose for filling the air filler hose, what do you call that thing? And this is, what's this? Yeah, this is tire repair kit. Maybe I can take this and put it over there. Alright guys, hours later. Jammed it in there. Now it's not complete. I'm just getting burned out and doing stupid things, so it's like, okay, it's hooked up to the battery. That's all it's hooked up right now. But I'm like, what, it's going to be on all the time? So I bought those circuit breakers and I got them, and I think that'll be my switch. But where to put it? I need one to the battery, so I'm gonna think I got room to put one right there. So yeah. See, and these are the fuses off the for the DC-DC charger. Yeah. One's the input battery from the engine, one's the output. Is that right? Yeah. Something like that. I'm tired, I'm not thinking straight now. But yeah. And then I'm looking at the panels. While I was running the wires for these panels, I'm still unhappy with that big old gap under there, if you see that. And if you look very carefully, you can't see, but there's this, I think it's sitting on a screw. That's why it's sitting high. See that screw? There's another screw under there. And I bet that's why it's not sitting flush. Dang it. So I gotta take the rack back off again and probably remount the panel, which isn't that big of a deal. So hey out there, it's Sunday, and I just come back from the hardware store. I had to get some bolts. I'm gonna rebolt the rack. I'm gonna drill it out and put some regular bolts all the way through. Anybody know about using steel bolts through aluminum? I hear there could be a dielectric problem, corrosion problem. If I remember right, I read that somewhere about aluminum parts and steel. In fact, I heard there was an issue with those temperature pressure sending units that go on your wheels for your tire pressures, of corrosion, because you've got dissimilar metals. You got the metal pressure sensor on an alloy wheel, and they tend to corrode. So I didn't know about that. I heard about something like that with engine parts, aluminum engine parts. So I'm running these steel through the aluminum frame. I guess it'd be alright. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to try to remount that solar panel, because I think it's sitting on a screw head. It's sitting on that screw head up on top of the truck there. That's why it's not sitting flush or flat. So might as well just take the whole thing off. That's what I'm going to be doing. Well, you know what? It's always something, right? So right up here I got LED lights to light up the inside here. It's right where the screw's going to go through. That's no good. Same on the other side. I got a strip light. I got these strips. I think it's going to be an issue. Yep. Well, we'll pull those off for now. They're just 3M taped on there. Yep. Now it's sitting flat. Dum-dum. It was sitting on one of these screw heads. See the screw head? It's a tight fit. Dang you. Okay, now to remount it. Okay guys, I had a question out there from Sean, a buddy of mine. Says, why don't you just run regular wire instead of ordering that special cable? Because that wire came with the right ends on it, right? To connect to this panel. See, this panel came with these ends. Now I could have cut it and just spliced them together, right? Well, I really would have been, you know, messed up right now, because then I would have had to cut the wires to pull the panel back off. So those connectors make it easy to change it out. So I already got the wires up there, but I bought extra ends in case I do have to cut something. Okay, so yeah, that's what's ideal about putting those connectors on. Same go for the lights on the roof. I should have put connectors on there, so if I gotta take the bar off, I just unplug them, right? But, alright. You learn along the way, right? You do better on the next one. Okay guys, it's like, what, 3:45 I think? Got it all back together. It was kind of a battle putting these bolts in, getting everything to line up, right? But I got it. So now it's bolted through. The panel is now sitting fairly flush. That'll work. It's hooked up, it's working, although we're in overcast. It's got 14.3 volts there charging. And I actually tested out the panel itself. It's putting out 19 volts, so that's pretty good. This is coming off the solar panel, so this is my switch. I want to switch it off. I just pop the breaker, right? See, like this one here is. So they recommend a 20 amp breaker, but this is the smallest I could find, 25. But okay. This is a lot of tedious little work here. So I guess that'll work.